This is a cast.
Hi.
This
Hello.
is a cast. Come on. What is your favorite part about being at something like D23 where everywhere you look, it's like a Disney star?
I love it. That wonderful guy we just met, Anthony.
So we met Anthony when he was on Broadway doing Hamilton.
Yeah, doing Hamilton, right.
I think it was, at the time, I think it was the only one of his first jobs, the only thing he'd done.
It was.
And he came to a Daredevil party, and he was so excited to meet us, and he was such
so
a big
lovely,
fan
man.
of the show.
He's
and
so good, too.
He
So
really is.
talented.
And then just to, every time I see his face on a poster, I get a huge smile. Like, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
It's a good year for him.
I'm so pleased for
Yeah,
his-
it's a really
for his
good year for
success.
him. Well, he was so excited about all of you all and was just like singing your praises and was like, he really was. I love that. There aren't many shows that get like a second life on television. You know what I'm saying? So how does it feel? And I guess this is a pun that's intended to be born again, with this franchise.
Look, I mean, I think one thing that's always been first and foremost, I think, to this show and to this group and to this cast is this sacred sort of reverence for the fans. That's always been front and center. We always pay heed to that at every turn, and there's no question.
See you around, Red.
I mean, I've been hearing a lot about it since you were canceled, this and that. And I know there's probably things you can say, you can't say. But I don't really know that the show is canceled. You know what I mean? Like, I think that there was always an appetite for this show, for these characters, for the Daredevil world. You know, there just really was. And I think these characters mean an enormous amount to each of us, and I think they mean a lot to the fans. And I think that it was a matter of time. And I think it's just we got to do it justice.
Yes, absolutely. Deborah, I'm going to ask you, for fans that are curious what they're in for.
Yeah.
she's like, uh-oh, here we go.
By a man working for Wilson Fisk 18 months ago.
How will the tone here differ? Will it feel like a spinoff? Will it feel like a reboot? Will it feel like just like a comforting
I've
kind
said
of
this a
comfort
few
hug
times.
continuation?
This will never be a comforting show, I will say that. But it did feel like coming home. It's different people working on it and things like that, but stepping onto this set felt like the same sort of, we're going to have a lot of fun, we're going to take this really seriously, and we're going to make something great. Absolutely felt the same coming back onto this set.
And Charlie, you made a special cameo return in the last Spider-Man film. Robert Downey Jr. was just announced, I mean, everybody's still kind of reeling over the whole thing, that he's coming back to the MCU. Now, do you hope that your paths cross in a film somewhere down the line? Somewhere.
Look, with playing this character, I always hope that my
Okay.
path will cross with all sorts of characters in the MCU, and certainly he would be very high up on that list. God knows if that's something that would ever happen. But
Anything can happen.
anything.
in the MCU.
Well, certainly now anything.
Anything
It feels like
can
now
happen.
anything can happen. I hope that it does. But regardless of that, we're so lucky to have this show, to be able to do what we've been doing for 10 years now, and to, give it a little bit more zhuzh, a little bit of an upgrade, a Disney Plus upgrade, and try and find that balance between what people loved about the show originally and also give them something new to be excited about. So,
Elton, you concur with what Deborah was saying, kind of like it's like homecoming, it's like family.
First of all, just feel really lucky to be working with these guys. And I was saying to Deborah that, when my first day back, I walked into the trailer and she had a big smile on her face. She got up and gave me a hug, and it really felt like coming home,
Jon, we would be remiss if we did not say congratulations for your Emmy nomination for The Bear. Yes, absolutely. What would it mean to you to see your cast, the series, recognized for season 2?
Look, I think with that show, it's just with all the changes that are happening, in this industry, that show is a testament to the core of what really matters and why we all do it. It's a group of people who are making something sacred, that's sacred to them, but they do it in a non-precious way. It's completely collaborative. It's completely led by the folks' hearts that are a part of it. It's such a wonderful group of people who are telling a deeply personal story, and again, it's just great storytelling, great performances. It's great that is what's being recognized.
Cannot get the Christmas dinner scene out of my head.
I'm just gonna borrow for a second. I just need it for 1 second.
Come on, dude.
Michael. Hey, Michael.
Through the fork, Lee.
Vincent, being with this group, I mean, we're talking about coming home and feeling like something. You know what fandom is for a series, So, can you compare and contrast like what Marvel fandom's like?
It's beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's Charlie and I. We travel all over the country a lot together, and Jon too. We all do it, and it's just so enormous, and they're so sweet, and they just believe in
But
what
we
they
don't
believe
play
in.
around. We're like, don't mess it up, because I know, seriously.
Yeah, it feels good when you're getting it right, huh?
Yeah.
You think one man in a silly little costume will make a difference?
It's beyond any kind of thing that happened with Law and Order. Although the Law and Order show that I did, Criminal Intent, it's still, a lot of people that come up to me still, love that character.
Well, that's why I was asking, because that fan base, is so loyal.
Yeah.
In that franchise, and then the Marvel fan base too. I don't know if you can compare them, but.
I mean, they're comparable. I would say that the Criminal Intent fans are, solid fans and have been for years. I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And this Marvel thing is the same way. It's very, it's very similar. They come up to you. They know a lot about your character.
Yeah.
They're very into it. And they, you really have to, hope that, I know when I'm speaking to them, I hope I say the right thing, because it's really important to them.
It's true.
And I'll tell you, Charlie and I, we say it all the time. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. So.
Jon, I'm going to end on this. You also just wrapped up the sequel to The Accountant with Ben Affleck and J.K. Simmons. What was it like getting back together again? And where do we find you guys when we pick this up?
Oh man, it's another one. It's like these long breaks, these long. We're a little bit older, a little bit slower. You know what I mean? but sort of the same deal. Same group. Gavin O'Connor. Bill Dubuque wrote it. It's again, it's just. I think that the fans wanted it, and it's great to get back with a bunch of people that I love that really want to get it right and want to honor the first film. I can't tell you too much about it, obviously, but
you give me a little bit. We're old friends now, Jon.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. But I'm not doing it. You're right. Thank you, man.